Hello, my name is Julia, and welcome to my presentation on the nesting behaviors of ospreys as related to gender. Ospreys are unique fish-eating birds of prey found in coastal regions around the globe. Within the past century, conflicts have emerged related to increasing human-osprey interactions. Specifically in the 1970s, usage of the harmful pesticide DDT led to drastic declines in the nesting success of osprey populations. Nonetheless, as adaptable species, they have recovered since, and they now nest successfully in both natural settings such as trees, as well as artificial settings such as light poles. Ospreys continue to serve as an indicator species for studying environmental contamination and expanding our understanding of human species interactions. Advances in technology such as webcam monitoring have allowed for more effective studies related to species behavior. The objective of this study was to monitor and determine whether there were differences in the nesting and parenting behavioral tendencies within osprey mating pairs as related to gender via webcam monitoring. So the methodology consisted of digital monitoring of two breeding pairs via the Achieva Credit Union webcam located in St. Petersburg, Florida, as well as the Cornell Lab and Skidway Audubon webcam located in Savannah, Georgia. So from the end of March through mid-May of the 2020 nesting season, 6 student observers recorded a minimum of 3 hours of webcam data each week for a total of 141 hours. Researchers recorded the time each mating partner spent at the nest, incubation, nest maintenance, and other related feeding behaviors, and the data was summarized by total time spent present, time spent feeding the chicks, and the number of fish brought to the nest. Finally, statistical significance was measured using an SPSS calculated independent samples t-test for means. So for all of our dependent variables, including the time spent in the nest per hour, the time spent feeding the chicks, and the total fish brought to the nest per hour, we had statistically significant results based on the independent t-test calculated values, which are reported in the tables below. For the time spent in the nest per hours, females spent significantly more time in the nest for an average of 42.73 minutes, whereas males spent an average of 11.01 minutes per hour in the nest. For the time spent feeding the chicks, females fed the chicks for an average of 3.56 minutes per hour, whereas males fed the chicks for an average of 0.1 minutes per hour. And finally, for the total fish brought to the nest per hour, females brought an average of 0.03 fish back to the nest per hour, whereas males brought an average of 0.2 fish to the nest per hour. And over the entire monitoring period for both nesting sites, observers recorded 4 events when females brought back a fish, in comparison to a total of 31 events when males brought back a fish. So overall, these findings are consistent with observed trends, as female ospreys take primary parental care, while males typically leave the nest to gather materials, forage, or guard the nest. Both parents play differing roles critical to nesting success. It is important that osprey nesting behaviors are well understood for their protection and that of their surrounding ecosystems, as well as legislative action moving forward. Thank you for coming to my talk today.